Today we're making triple cooked crispy garlic Parmesan fries. They're incredibly delicious, they're crispy of course, and we're serving them with a beautiful Outback sauce. It's one of my favorite sauces to go with this type of thing. Let's get straight into it.
Now the potatoes I'm using are all-rounder potatoes. You can use Yukon Gold, Desiree, or even Russet, and the amount here is going to depend on how many fries you want to make, but I'm using about 5 or 6 depending on size. I'm going to slice these into strips, make sure they're the same size, that way you can get these as consistent as possible. Stack those strips and then dice into even-sized patterns. Once you have them all done, you should have something that looks like this that can be placed in a bowl of cold water, and we'll allow this to soak for about an hour to remove the excess starch. In the meantime, for our dipping sauce, crack 1 egg into a tall container along with 3 teaspoons of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of American or yellow mustard or Dijon mustard, and 150 milliliters of any neutral flavored oil. I'm using vegetable oil for this. Get in there with an immersion blender and blend this up until it creates an emulsion. This right here is our base mayonnaise. Then to flavor this up even more, add in 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup, 1 tablespoon of creamed horseradish. You can use regular horseradish, but just use half the amount. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of chili powder, which is optional if you don't like the heat. Season it to taste and get back in there with the immersion blender and blend everything together until we've created our beautiful Outback sauce. Leave it in the container or transfer it over to a bowl, and this right here can be placed in the fridge until we're ready to serve. And this sauce goes with pretty much anything, not just fries. Now onto the first cook for our potatoes. Bring a pot of water to a boil, then add in the potatoes. You can do this in batches, and cook these for about 4 to 5 minutes until the outside is only just soft, but the center is still firm. Then remove these and place them onto a wire rack. And there's a couple of things we can do here. You can place them in the fridge or freezer overnight, and this is going to allow that starch to set and get really nice and crispy for the next fry. Or you can just place them in the fridge until they've cooled down and air dried a little bit. Whilst we wait for the potatoes to cool down, grate 2 cloves of garlic across a microplane to create a paste. This is going to be for our garlic butter that's drizzled over the fries at the end. It is completely optional though, you don't have to do this if you don't want to. We're also going to roughly chop 2 grams of flat leaf parsley into nice fine pieces. Make sure there's no large leaves or stems. Then to make the garlic butter, place a pan over a medium heat. Add in 3 tablespoons or 42 grams of unsalted butter. Allow that to melt, then add in the garlic as well as the flat leaf parsley. Just stir this all together until that garlic's broken up. We're going to cook this for about 1 minute over a low heat. Then we can remove this from the stovetop and set it aside. Now with our potatoes being cold, transfer them over to a tray or a bowl with large sides and add in 2 teaspoons of corn flour or cornstarch. This is completely optional, but it just adds an outer shell of even more starch that's going to allow our potatoes to become extremely crispy. They will still become crispy if you don't do it, but they'll be even more crispy if you do. With that done, place another pot over a high heat, add in enough vegetable oil to fill the pot by about half, bring this up to 160 degrees Celsius or 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Add in the potatoes, doing this in batches so we don't cool down the oil too much, and then fry these for about 5 to 6 minutes until the outer shell is crispy, but there's not much color on the fries. We're only looking for a texture thing right here, not the color. We're going to increase the heat of the oil to 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for the next cook. As for the next cook, it is the third and final fry for the fries. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Just make sure the oil is nice and hot at that 180 degrees Celsius. Add in the potatoes, again, doing it in batches. We're going to fry these for about 3 to 4 minutes. What we're looking for now is that color. The crunch will be even more than the second fry. But the most important part about this is getting that color right. We want these to be golden brown. And if you like these even more crispy, just cook them for a further couple of minutes. Once you're happy with them, place them into a large mixing bowl, generously seasoned with salt. And I like to add cracked black pepper to my fries as well. Add as much as you like. And of course that garlic butter, which is completely optional. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. And I'm also grating in a little bit of Parmesan cheese. The amounts here are completely up to you. With all of that in, give it a quick toss to combine, allow those flavors to become friends, then we can serve these up however you like. I'm serving them in a fry basket, it's a bit over the top, you don't need to do this. And be sure to serve it with that Outback sauce. Don't forget you've made it and put it in the fridge. And a little bit extra garnish, you can grate over some more Parmesan cheese. You might have a little bit of that garlic butter left over if you're using it, just drizzle that over the top. And these right here are our triple cooked crispy garlic Parmesan fries.
Now with everything said and done, there is only one thing left to do, and that is of course we can then dig in. From something as simple as a fry, these are absolutely incredible. There's so much crunch, the Outback sauce goes perfectly, and I know there is a few little steps in there, but you can skip a few. I have details about that in the description. Really hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.